It's not the money that's keeping you poor. That's not just a statement, it's a wake-up call. Because if you're like most people, you've been told that the solution to your financial struggles is to earn more, work harder, get promoted, start a side hustle. But what if I told you that none of that will fix the root problem? Ray Dalio, one of the most respected investors in the world, says the real reason most people stay financially stuck isn't their paycheck, it's how they think. Their mindset, their decision-making, the invisible patterns running their financial life on autopilot. So ask yourself, what if your money problems aren't about money at all? In this video, we're going to unpack the deeper reasons behind financial struggle, based on the principles Ray Dalio has used to build billions. You'll learn why people sabotage their own growth, the one shift that changes everything, and how to finally break out of the paycheck-to-paycheck trap. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What's one belief about money you were taught growing up that you now realize might have been wrong? Drop it in the comments. Your story might just open someone else's eyes. Let's bust one of the biggest financial lies most people believe. If I just earned more, all my problems would go away. Sounds logical, right? But it's dead wrong. Ray Dalio says it's not how much money you make. It's how you manage it, how you think about it, and most importantly, how you make decisions with it. Because if you earn more but your thinking doesn't change, your outcome won't either. You'll just spend more, waste more, and stay stuck, only now with a nicer car. This is what he calls being trapped in the rat race. More income, more lifestyle inflation, more stress, no real progress. Studies show that a shocking number of people making six figures still live paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they never learned how to think in terms of principles, only in terms of survival. Dalio built his fortune by applying timeless principles to money. Things like discipline, delayed gratification, and risk management. Let's break that down. Discipline means saying no to short-term rewards so you can build long-term stability. Delayed gratification is skipping the instant dopamine hit of a purchase to invest in something that compounds. Risk management means not putting yourself in a position where one unexpected bill wipes out your savings. And here's the twist. The more money you make, the more dangerous your habits become if they go unchecked. Bigger paychecks can disguise deeper issues. People assume they're doing well just because they're earning more. But in reality, they're one financial hiccup away from a spiral. Dalio warns that your mindset is your foundation. Without principles, more money just magnifies your mistakes. So if you feel stuck, don't just chase a raise, upgrade your operating system. Because until you change how you think, no amount of money will ever be enough. Here's a truth most people never realize. You're not broke because of bad luck. You're broke because of bad decisions. Ray Dalio says that the majority of financial failure can be traced back to one thing: emotional decision-making. Acting on fear, acting on impulse, reacting instead of responding. And in his world, emotion is a liability. Think about it. How many times have you made a money move because it felt right in the moment, only to regret it later? Swiping the credit card, signing a lease you can't really afford, jumping into a risky investment just because everyone else is doing it. These aren't isolated mistakes. They're habits born from lack of structure. Dalio built his empire by doing the opposite. He uses frameworks, principles that guide every major decision. He doesn't ask, "How do I feel about this?" He asks, "What do the facts say? What outcome am I optimizing for?" Most people make decisions from survival mode. They focus on today's pressure instead of tomorrow's peace. But Dalio teaches that progress only comes when you step back, analyze the root issue, and follow a strategy. Want a practical example? Let's say you lose your job. The reactive move is to panic, cash out your savings, and take the first offer you get. The strategic move is to cut expenses fast, pause unnecessary spending, and use that breathing room to find the right job that moves you forward. Another example, let's say the stock market crashes. The average person pulls everything out. But Dalio? He rebalances his portfolio and doubles down on long-term principles. Because he knows that decisions made in panic are almost always the wrong ones. One of Dalio's most powerful teachings is this: pain plus reflection equals progress. In other words, every mistake is a lesson if you stop long enough to learn from it. That's not just smart, that's principle-based thinking. And Dalio believes that kind of thinking is what separates people who stay poor from those who eventually build wealth. You're not just a product of your income, you're a product of your decisions. And if you want a different outcome, you need a different operating system. If there's one mindset that keeps people stuck financially, It's short-term thinking. Most people want comfort now. They want the new car, the upgraded phone, the weekend getaway, even if it means debt, stress, or delayed goals. But Ray Dalio says that real wealth is built by doing the hard things now so you can live easier later. He calls it pain plus reflection equals progress. And it means that the discomfort you feel today can actually become your advantage if you learn from it and use it. Short-term thinkers avoid pain. They dodge budgeting, procrastinate on investing, and chase fast wins. They're reactive. They seek instant validation and gratification, not long-term fulfillment. But long-term thinkers, they take the hit today to protect tomorrow. They build emergency funds. They invest consistently. They make decisions their future self will thank them for. Dalio explains that the ability to delay gratification is one of the clearest indicators of long-term financial success. And he doesn't just preach it, he lives it. He spent decades analyzing markets, watching trends, making painful mistakes, and documenting every lesson. Imagine two people. One spends $500 a month eating out. The other invests that same $500 monthly in a low-cost index fund. Over 20 years, that difference becomes more than $250,000. That's not sacrifice, that's strategy. Or think bigger. The person who saves 20% of their income every month, even when it hurts, is building a future most people will never reach. Not because they earned more, but because they thought further ahead. Dalio's success didn't come from luck or timing. It came from decades of painful lessons, reviewed with brutal honesty. He writes down every mistake, reflects on it, and builds new rules to avoid it next time. That's how he created an entire system for decision-making, and how you can start building your own. It's not glamorous. It's not fast. But it works. If you want to escape the cycle of paycheck to paycheck, you need to shift your time horizon. Stop thinking about this weekend. Start thinking in decades. Dalio's principle is simple: think long. Act long. Play the long game. Because wealth doesn't come from luck. It comes from behavior repeated over time. So now you know the truth. It's not your salary. It's not the economy. It's not even inflation. It's your thinking. Ray Dalio's biggest lesson isn't about money. It's about mindset. Because how you think determines how you act. And how you act determines the life you build. If you're stuck financially, it's not because you're lazy or unlucky. It's likely because no one ever taught you how to think in principles. How to delay gratification. How to manage risk. How to make decisions based on your future, not your feelings. But here's the good news. You can start today. You can choose to stop reacting and start reflecting. You can decide that from this point forward, you'll operate with clarity, not confusion. With strategy, not survival mode. Dalio didn't become a billionaire because he was born into wealth. He built it through painful lessons, reflection, and disciplined action. And you don't need a Wall Street job or millions in the bank to start doing the same. So here's your challenge. Take one Dalio principle you heard in this video and apply it. Just one. Write it down. Think about how it applies to your life. Use it the next time you face a tough financial decision. That one shift could change everything. And don't keep it to yourself. Share this message with someone who needs it. We all know someone stuck in survival mode, waiting for a miracle. Maybe they don't need more money. Maybe they just need a better mindset. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below. What mindset shift are you committing to today? I read every single one. Your story might inspire someone else. If this video brought you value, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Remember, it's not the money. It's how you think about it. And when you change that, you change everything.